Hello, Stan here for GPT for Sheets. I will show you how you can use Google Sheets to create a little FAQ chatbot, so that if you have a set of question and answers, you can then make a little chatbot that people can ask their question. It will map the user question to the most relevant questions in the list. It will then fetch the corresponding answers to those relevant questions, and then GPT will actually answer the question. So let's see how this works. I'll just show you an example first. Let's say that I want to know what photos are accepted. So what photos are accepted for a visa? Okay, so the tool fetched the three questions that are the most relevant and their corresponding answers, and then ChatGPT summarized it, gave me an answer to the question. And by the way, all the question and answers here are scraped from this website, so it's the official French Visas website, but you can use this for, as long as you have a set of questions and answers, this technique will work. So let's see how it works. So first of all, I will delete my question here. So the first step is to actually start from a user question and then find the relevant questions in this row. So how do we do this? Well, we use, as you can see here, we use GPT map. So here the formula is a bit more complicated because I wrapped it into some if statement, so that if the user question is blank, instead of showing an error, it shows waiting for a question. But I will show you step by step how it works. So the main formula is the GPT map, so I will just copy paste this below. Okay, I will type equal and then paste this in. And instead of using this one, which will activate everything, I will use another cell, which will be E14. So I will put E14 in here. Okay, so now, since E14 is blank, this of course doesn't work. So I will put here a question. So for example, what is the cost of a visa? Okay, and as you can see, I get three results. I'm going to scroll horizontally a little bit. How much does a visa cost? How long does it take to get a visa? And what is a return visa? These are three questions that you will find in this list here. Actually, let me just make sure of that. So let's take this one, for example. I will search for it. So via the sheets. Okay, how much does a visa cost? I paste it in here and it should be, okay, it's in green here. Now let's take this one. How long does it take to get a visa? And again, okay, it's here. And the third one, well, let's do it just for the sake of completeness. And here it is. So you get, with GPT map, you are guaranteed to get items from the column or nothing if it cannot find anything. The way GPT map functions, you can specify how many questions or how many items you want it to return. So for example, so this is done with the top K parameter here. So if I put, if I omit it here, I just delete it, it should give me just one, the most relevant question. Okay. So you can configure this. You could put 4 or 5 or 2 if you preferred. Let's keep 3 here. So then GPT map natively will input each, let me close this, yeah. Will input each item of the result sets in different columns. So what we want is, we actually want them stacked vertically. So for this, we're going to use the transpose function. So I will just type in so transpose. And then we close the paren, and there we go. Now we've got them neatly stacked vertically. And now we need to fetch the answers. So this is quite easy since each of those questions appear exactly as they are spelled. Here we can just simply do an XLOOKUP. So For this, I'll just copy paste this formula. So here, XLOOKUP. Okay. And then I'll paste this here. Okay, what we want is not E7, but we want this one, so E14. Actually, we want E15. The question is in E15. Okay. And there we go. Actually, I'm gonna put it in here, yeah. So it's next to the question. So as you can see, what the XLOOKUP formula does is it basically, it searches for E15 in the column B, in cells B2 to B42, and then returns the corresponding value in column C through C2 from C2 through C42. Sorry about this. So when it finds how much does the visa cost, which is where is it? Let's actually find it with search. So copy pasting this and then put it here. So okay, it's here, and so it will fetch exactly this value here. Those applying for a visa must cover the administrative costs, etc. As you can see, it appeared right here on one line. Okay, and so now since I have fixed vertically the columns, the lookup column, lookup range, and the result range, I can easily drag this down to fetch the answer of all three questions. So let's do it. And there we go. So this basically constitutes what happens in here. The only difference is in here I have added an if is blank, so that if the user question is blank, it will not generate errors. As you can see here, if I remove the user question, it will generate a lot of errors everywhere. Okay, so now that I've explained how this part works, I'm almost done. So basically I'll just delete all of this, and the last part is answering the question. So for this, all I do is I do a GPT of E2 through F11. So I basically feed to ChatGPT the whole this whole range here, so that it sees the user question, and then I tell it to answer the user's question. Below are some relevant FAQs, which would be populated as we've seen before from the user question, and that's pretty much it. So, and again, all that is around it is just so that it behaves nicely and does not generate errors. But now, if I put my question here, so what is, okay, how much does it cost to get a visa? So it tells me the exact relevant questions and answers, and then provides me with an answer. So this, I think, is a nice little tool that you can create with your spreadsheets if you have the Q&A list in your spreadsheet directly. Okay, I hope you appreciate the video. Let me know in the comments, as always, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening.